For me, most of the problem is keyboard warriors because I find in person people see a human being.
Right.
They're looking at you, and even if they disagree, they'll have a conversation, they'll hear you. They can't run away, whereas on Twitter, they'll say something, then that's it, they're gone. I'm trying to pave a path for South Asians. I'm trying to make it so the next person doesn't have to fight as hard as I fought in some of these rooms. And every once in a while, I'll get a South Asian person, a Punjabi person being like, sell out, you do nothing for us, you do nothing for our community. Like, it's actually the hate from our own community that bothers me the most.
Do celebrities like you get that? Do they get negative stuff thrown in their face?
It is by far one of my greatest challenges in life. I am past the point where I need to front.
Oh, online, or you mean in person? Like IRL, people get like, or is that like, no, that's keyboard warriors, that's the problem is?
For me, most of the problem is keyboard warriors because I find in person people see a human being.
Right.
They're looking at you, and even if they disagree, they'll have a conversation, they'll hear you. They can't run away, whereas on Twitter, they'll say something, then that's it, they're gone.
Yeah.
And there's no accountability. But it is tough. The online stuff, people's opinions constantly being judged. I think I went through a period of time where I fronted for a while and I was like, I have thick skin, it doesn't bother me. And then I turned 30 and I was like, I think my feelings are hurt.
Wouldn't they have to be?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Who would be like, no, I'm fine?
I think some people might have thicker skin than me, but I've come to terms with the fact that sometimes I'm sensitive. And especially when it's something I care about. Like, if I get hate about my sexuality or like the color of my skin, or I get a lot of like, we get it, you're a woman. Like, I don't know how to reconcile with that because how do I change that?
Where do you think that? Well, I mean, you can be changed. There are
of course, but I'm saying I don't want to change that. You know?
That's a fair point.
You know?
That's like, how do you? I mean, what's the thing that someone said to you that what hurts? Like when someone says that, like out of all, because there's so many things that people can say about anybody, but it's like they're like, oh my gosh, that like really.
I'm gonna give you a very vulnerable answer that I've never given anyone else before, just because you've brought me in this room with all these nice gallery walls, and now I'm here and I feel like I owe you something. Something that really bothers me, and I think it's because I'm so passionate about it, is, like I mentioned, I'm trying to pave a path for South Asians. I'm trying to make it so the next person doesn't have to fight as hard as I fought in some of these rooms. I can't do everything though, and I have my own lived experiences, and so I have my own way of talking, of dressing, of doing things, because that's what I know. And every once in a while, I'll get a South Asian person, a Punjabi person being like, sell out, you do nothing for us, you do nothing for our community. Like, it's actually the hate from our own community that bothers me the most because I care so deeply about that community.
Right, because that's who you are.
And it's a thing a lot of people face. You know, I've spoken to lots of other actresses and talent about this, that their own communities are their biggest supporters and critiques.
Biggest detractors.
You know? Exactly, and I think it stings a little bit more. Always feels a little nicer too, but also stings a little more.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Like they don't feel like you do enough.
They don't feel like I do enough, or I'm not doing it how they might do it, or the way they want it to be done.
How do they want it to be done?
I think in a way that aligns with their upbringing, right? I think one of the hard parts of being a minority is that inevitably you're representing so many people. Like there's over 1 billion Desis.
Which is why a friend of mine always says, let's stop calling ourselves minorities.
Exactly.
Because we're not the minority.
But my experience growing up is gonna be still different from yours because we're still individuals, right? So when I'm making my YouTube videos and I'm talking about how my parents raised me and the things they might say to me and how strict they were, I'm just talking about my experience.
Right.
But I'll get a comment being like, stop portraying Indian parents like that. Mine are nothing like that. And that's where I'm like, it doesn't mean that mine aren't though, so it's tough when you're representing so many people. And it's also tough when there's so many causes in the world. I think one of the tough things today is that everyone's really passionate about causes, whether it's, the very important farmer protest, whether it's like women's education, whether it's about X, Y, Z. I'm still one person, I can't solve everything, and I think people, when there's only a few of people that look like you in the spotlight, you are kind of pressured to solve everything.
Sure.
Do
you think that'll change?
Absolutely not.
I love the optimism.
Absolutely
That's great.
not.
Should it change? Or is there a point to that?
Realistically, I don't think it will. And part of my healing process has been understanding where that person is coming from. Wow. They are so frustrated because there is no one talking about the thing they care about, and I'm the closest person that could talk about it, and I'm not doing it as well as they could do it. So I have to understand where their frustration comes from.
They've got like an all lives matter point.
You know what I mean?
My cause matters too.
I'm a firm believer that everyone has a chip on their shoulder and it's beautiful and it is specific to them. Mine is, I really am about gender equity. Like I care about a lot of causes, but for me, because of my life and my experiences, I'm like, I know firsthand what it feels like to be born a girl in a South Asian family that was like a disappointment, you know? And that's like real
Because
stuff.
of your sexuality?
No, because I was a girl.
Oh,
because I'm not, I'm not right
penis.
from the get-go, from the get-go,
jump.
right? So when you are raised with that, that's a very real thing that has followed me through my life. And so that is the chip on my shoulder. I will proudly say, I'm all about gender equity. I'm all about paving the path for women. So yes, I can lend my voice to other causes I really care about, and I will, but I can't stand for everything.
Right,
you know what I mean?
you fall
I
for anything, as they say.
There you go. Google that quote, folks. It'll say author Rajiv.
It will. Just like this, where it says good artists borrow, great artists steal, and it's me. I'm very proud of that.